Hello and welcome back to my channel. In my last video, we did a code demo on components. In this video, we'll be doing further ahead into the React. So inside the components, we'll be adding properties as well as data. So we'll be doing a simple practical of creating a form and adding two text boxes with the value, and we'll be passing those value for submission. By now we know how to create, that means how to create a React app. So whenever we start a new application, we have to create a new React app, and we know a folder with that name gets created, and then we have to do cd command to go inside. So if you're still not knowing how to do that, you can refer the video that is added in the description as well as the card that is popping up. You can click on it and you can view how to create a React app. I've already created a particular app called as my form, and we very well know once we create these, all folders gets done by itself. So inside that, I am gone into index.js file, which is a current file which is open over here right now. And inside that, the by default code that comes, I have deleted that and I've kept the relevant ones that I need. So I've kept the import statement and my React DOM.render method, in which I need to do document.getElementById. I am creating a class called as myForm extends React component, and I'll be doing the further coding inside it. So what I'm going to create right now is I am going to create two text boxes. So currently I am taking name as one of the labels and I'll be adding one text box. Then I'll be taking age, and in that I'll be adding one more text box. The entire practical is going to roll around this too. You have to enter some text in these data. This you have to put as number, and for that you need to keep an alert box if it is not taking a number. When you click on submit, it has to say it has to be a number. Then you have a name, age and number, and as soon as you start typing over here, it should keep appending on the top the name, and as soon as you enter age, it should append the age as well. So this is all about the rough idea about what we are going to do in this video. So let's jump into the code and see how to go about. So we can see we have already created a class form. In the previous video, you must have seen we have created components as constant and the name of the component. Since we are going to use further, we are using react.component inside it. So inside react.component, I am going to create a constructor. So inside constructor, I need to pass the properties. So props is a short form for property. This is by default the React syntax which is there. And inside the properties, you need to pass super. And inside the super, you need to pass the properties again. So again props inside the super. And you need to give a semicolon. So right now I have just declared my component, that class myForm extends React component, which will have a constructor as a property and it can have super properties as well. So this is a basic skeleton of my React.component is ready. Now let's go into the creation of form. So we know everything what we create to be visible onto the screen, that is the view page, it has to be in the form of render. So let's go and write a render method. So let's write a render method. So we start writing a render method. Inside render, you need to give a return because that's what is going to be displayed onto the screen. So return. Inside the return, you will create your form. So form, that's your form tag that you're opening. If you need to give a name to your form, you can give that. Otherwise, just a form tag. Inside that, I'm just passing my h1 and I'm saying, hi, my name is h1 done. So into it, now let's do more of it. That is like, I'll just give a paragraph tag to my next line. And inside the paragraph tag, I write enter your name. That's like my label that will come onto my screen. Enter your name. So once the data is there onto my screen, it will be displaying that. So since I have done with the label, the next thing is I need to have a text box for the entry. So I will write input type is equal to text, and the basic syntax that we have used in HTML as well. Only thing is we used to use double quotes. Here everything is going under the single quotes. So username, that's the name of my file, and if I want to do any further work on it, I'll be doing. So currently I'll just create my page. So my one text box is done. So let's create my another one. So that is P. Again, I'm just giving enter your age, colon, and I just repeat my input type again. So input type is equal to text, name is equal to age, and I just close this. Okay, so my data is ready, and I'll just need one button for the submission as well. So I'll just give input type is equal to submit, and my submit is ready. So I need to close my form tag. So my form tag is already got closed. So here we are done with the creation of form. I have closed the bracket of return which I have opened here. I have closed this bracket over here. That's my render method and my main class component. And my main class component has only React.component properties and super properties. That's it. Nothing else I have mentioned. Let's see with this what do we get as an output. So let's save the code and let's save the code and run and see what we are going to get. It's just getting compiled. And you can see it's come on my screen. Enter your name and enter your age. So I have got two text boxes with the labels, and I had given hi, my name is, and it's a blank because I didn't give anything. Now if I write something over here and I write something onto my age and I click on submit, it is just passing that value over here. But our output should be, when we click on submit, it should tell you whether the age is, if the age is wrong. When we submit, if the age entered is a wrong number or is a text or a string, it should say it is a number. And as soon as we enter something over here, this has to append over here. So this has to append. So we need to use now this dot state method. So let's go back to our code. And over here inside this method, that's our class, we'll have to declare this dot state. So inside the properties we'll go and we'll declare this dot state equal to, and we'll open the brackets, curly braces, and we'll write username. This is the name which we are getting it from here because we need this value which is coming in that text box. So currently that text box is named as username and the second text box is named as age. So we'll give username colon single quotes and comma, same way age colon null comma, and since this value has to be processed, we need to close it with a semicolon. And if we come back over here, I am getting this button on the same line. I don't want this button on the same line, so I'll just go to my form. Simple rule that we have always tried using it, break. So I'll just use a break over here, and we know in React everything has to have a closing. So whether it is a standalone tag or a container tag, we need to do the closing. So let's save this and see what we are getting as the output. So you can see the submit is gone down. Okay, so I'll just give a space over here. Alright, so this is what it has happened. Now this dot state username and a password is done. But how will my value come? So for that reason, I need to write submit handler because this is what input type is equal to submit. So since input type is equal to submit, that value has to be fetched in the submit button. So for that reason, we need to go and do the onSubmitHandler method. So over here, we'll be writing mySubmitHandler. Okay, I'll be writing mySubmitHandler equal to bracket implicit intent, then bracket, and then we write the method inside it. Okay, so when we did with component, we were leaving this blank like this only, and we were going ahead with the data that has to be processed. But now we are doing with properties and state, so we need to pass the property that you want over here. So my property is an event that has to occur at the runtime, so it's given as event. Over there I'll be providing event dot prevent default. This is, then you will be giving let age equal to this dot state is the method that we have written up, and we have to take age. So this dot state dot age. What I am doing is onto my submit handler. As I said, when I click on submit, it has to check whether age field is a number. If not, it has to alert me. So right now I am creating a code for that. So onto my submit handler, I am doing an implicit intent and I am setting it as a default. Prevent default means it will be a default setting that it has to check. If it is a data proper, it will not reply anything. So it will check and then it will alert you that it is not a number. So it is by default check need to be done. That's why I'm giving it as prevent default. So let age equal to this dot state dot age, and I need to pass the if condition, that is the logic that it has to check. So we know that if not number, then what? So if not number, age is my column name. So if not number age, it has to go through the loop. It will say alert. Since alert message has to come over here, it will come inside as double quote. Age should be a number. So this is the data that I am passing. I have this. So my submit handler event is my property. I am doing implicit intent. I am doing prevent default. That means by default it has to check this. That is which column it has to check. I am not doing it for username. I am doing only for age. So it will do this dot state dot age. If the data in the age text box is not a number, it will alert age should be a number, and it will close. It will give you a pop-up. So since I have to process this, so in React, whatever has to be processed, you need to close it with a semicolon. So I close my this loop with a semicolon. So this is my submit handler done. So let's save and run. Let's see what's the changes that are coming up. So when I do over here and when I go on to this text and I write submit and I do submit, nothing is happening because I have not mentioned anything inside my form. So how will my form come to know that it has to process? Because there is some action that is happening. So for that reason, I need to write on change event. So as soon as my data changes or as soon as the text which is empty has started entering value, it has to take that value and pass on. So I have to use on change method. To use the on change method, I need to use on change handler as well. Because change is nothing that I just do and it will happen. Even if we write on click method, we have to declare the click method. Then only on click works. So same way, I need to declare the change handler method in my main class, and I'll be writing my change handler method. So I go over here and I write my change handler. So this is all following the Java syntax. As we know that small if you start with, then the next division word has to be in capital. So my change handler equal to, again the same way I will write properties as event, implicit intent. I will open the curly braces and I need to pass a value where it has to get that data to be there. So I just take let name. I just give a different LA name equal to event dot target dot name. So I am creating one variable called as NAM, inside which I am saying event.target.name. So whatever changes is happening in that text box, it will be going inside the variable nav, and it will be checking what state it is. So it has to, as soon as the data is changed, it has to take that and set it onto my screen for my to view. So even if I write just one character A, it has to take that A immediately and display it onto the screen. Let val equal to event dot target dot h, sorry, not h, value, event dot target dot value, because age is going to come in number, so I can't take that as a data, so value. And then I'll be setting this dot set state. This dot set state, you can see it's showing S is capital and I've written S is small. So let's just change it. Use this dot set state, and after that we need to pass rounded brackets, and it says state any callback void. So state is what, for what I need to mention. So I want the name, right? So the name is getting stored inside the variable called as nam. So I will be passing nam into it. So it will be nam inside the square bracket followed by the val. So this is what is going to be the display onto my screen, followed by semicolon. So what I am doing is I am creating my change handler with an implicit intent where I am giving name short as nam, event.target.name. So whatever value coming inside my name, it will be picking up. Same way value event.target.value, it will be storing. This dot set state, what it has to set over there is the data which is coming under nam and val. So it's like my name is, so what's my name? That name it has to append, and the age value it has to append. So this is how it is going to do the data, and the curly brace is closing over here. So overall, I have declared now my change handler. I have created my submit handler. Now I need to call this data inside my form as well. Then only my form can pass that value, right? Otherwise, it is just a simple form. It doesn't know what it has to do. These methods and functions that I have declared up, I am not calling them anywhere. So I need to call them. So on that case, I'll just come over here, and it was what, my change handler. So I'll be calling on change, and I have to execute whatever is inside my change handler. So I need to do curly braces. As we know, whatever we need to process, it always comes under the curly braces, and I have to do whatever I'll be entering at that instance. So that's why this dot my change handler. This is done on change equal to this dot my change handler, and my data is ready. Now I need to do the same thing over here as well for each. So on change equal to curly brackets this dot my change handler. This dot my change handler, and now it is done. So I've given here now this dot my change handler and this dot my change. So whatever changes it will be happening, it will be displaying those things onto my screen. So let's save this and run and see what exactly is the output I am getting. I'm not getting any error, but I'm getting a warning. So even if I do a data, it is not giving me an alert, and it is not even taking my value that it has to take. That name is so and so, and here also on change handler is not working. So what exactly is the problem? Let's see in the code. When we come over here, we can see we have declared everything proper, but inside form, I have not given the form action only. So I have used change handler method over here, but I have not used the submit handler method. So how will my data get processed? So inside my form, I need to write on submit method. So I'll just write on submit equal to same pattern, curly braces this dot on submit, this dot my submit handler is the name that I have given, this dot my submit handler. So I have now mentioned where I have to use the change handler method, and I have mentioned where I have to use the submit handler. So my submit handler is done, but I need to write those data next to my name is and whatever is the data that has to process. So I need to write here also the processing value because I have wanting it onto the screen here itself. So if I just run and show you what exactly I am talking about, so I'll just go over here and I'll enter some value. And if I try to enter something, it will give me age should be a number, and I can change that to, and it will not give me an alert because my age is what I am checking in there. But you can see there is no data coming ahead of it. We want this also to be processed. So this is not getting affected onto my page because I have not appended there. Next to my name is what it has to show me. I have not written that. So I have to write username and age. I need to write over here what I have to display. So I need to write this dot state. So I need to write the processing. So it will go again inside the curly braces. So I will write this dot state dot username as a name that I have given. This will only process my username. So then I need to write this dot state dot age, and it will process my data onto my screen. So now let's run this to see what's the output it is giving me. So now I write, you can see it has come up on my screen. And if I write some here also, it will take because it is just on change handler method is getting executed. It has to just, but when I click on submit, it will tell me age is not a number. So I can do the changes over here. If my age is a number and it's properly taken, it will not give me any alert. So this is all about this particular code on properties and state along with components working inside. So we have a component inside which we have the properties and we have the state. So the state is on change handler, submit handler. These are the things that are happening. Properties are what exactly it has to execute, what exactly is the output you are expecting, what are the data it needs to process. That is all called as properties. So that's all in this video. Hope you liked my video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.